he's going to have. He's going to bring it there.
How has the life of Steven Espinosa changed since the moment of this announcement? Excuse me.
Well, I'm actually really happy. I changed my cell phone about 6 months ago. So anybody who had my cell phone number from the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, no longer has it. So actually, my life is pretty manageable until that number gets out there again.
Steven, there's some kind of punches, I believe, that kind of blur the lines as far as in MMA and in boxing. Like the Superman punch, I believe, is still legal in boxing. The spinning back fist, I believe, is still legal in boxing. Does that come up at all in negotiations?
No, it's standard boxing rules, so there's nothing there. I've been talking to the guys about this. I think the Superman punch, talking to Paulie about it, I think that's well within the rules.
Wow.
A back fist probably wouldn't be, but there's a lot of different things that can be done to throw off timing, come from strange angles. I mean, I can guarantee Floyd's never seen anyone coming and throwing a Superman punch.
Are you concerned with him instinctively? He's a UFC fighter, MMA fighter, that he might just let one go just out of instinct? I mean,
it's a question. It's a question. I mean, look, from a technical standpoint, I think one of the really interesting parts of Conor's training is the balancing of the weight. It's one thing when you're defending against takedowns and preparing at kicks, your weight's different. When you're just purely in a boxing stance, he's got to learn a different distribution of weight. Or, he comes in with something very unorthodox, and maybe it's something that Floyd isn't quite prepared of. Now, we know what happens with Floyd fights. Floyd usually takes a round, maybe two, and then something clicks and he figures something out. I don't know he's going to figure out Conor that quickly.
Some people would argue that MMA is drawing better pay-per-view numbers than boxing the past couple of years, but in the future maybe we see UFC events on Showtime or after this event showing what Mcgregor can bring to the table?
Well, I think it's interesting. Showtime's had a long history in combat sports, with Strikeforce, and even everyone's used to seeing UFC on Fox, but it was 10 years ago that CBS put MMA on broadcast television, and so really they were really pioneers in the space. So look, if an opportunity came up and there's a reason for us to get back into it, and the audience wanted it, then sure, we'd be happy to. But I think right now, UFC is really, it's a huge organization with hundreds and hundreds of hours. I'm still sort of the opinion I don't hear too often people saying there needs to be more MMA on TV. Maybe there's a different style or different type of competition, but there'd have to be a good reason for us to get back in.
Just one more, guys.